about Boots. Got some things on Boots. I did this video on Rachel Donaire saying that Eddie Hearn refused to pay the $20K for Jaron Boots Ennis to get the exception versus Karen Chuckagen. You know, people over there reached out to me and basically said that Brian Norman Jr., Sr. and Jr. refused the deal. And, you know, for the most part, they didn't pay the $20K because wasn't nobody else, you know, negotiate in good faith and take the deal, you know, and that Eddie wasn't going to pay the $2 million. So that Norman won because Norman kept going up on the number, okay? So for the most part, they just went on and fought Karen Chuckagen because he wanted to fight him. Basically, they said Brian Norman and them wasn't trying to fight. And they was crying and complaining about how they had to pay Top Rank and how their money broke down. And you know, that ain't Eddie Hearn fault. You know, you making more money than you ever made before. So for the most part of it, it's just to the point that they basically saying, you know, Brian Norman didn't want to fight. So Eddie Hearn didn't pay the $20K. He said they was negotiating, and for the most part, Brian Norman and them, they didn't want to fight. That they made a conscious effort to, you know, they basically felt like the fight wasn't gonna happen, so that's why they didn't pay the $20K. So there you have it. So they never felt like Brian Norman and them was negotiating in good faith. So, you know, for the most part, why pay? And from their perspective, why pay the $20K when Brian Norman, you know, never really wanted to fight. Ennis didn't want to fight. Barrios didn't want to fight. Nobody wanted to fight Boots. So why put the $20K up when we already knew they wasn't going to be negotiating? They wasn't going to negotiate in good faith. So, you know, first year the number was 1.2, then they got 1.7, then they wanted $2 million, and they felt like from the Boots side, if we was to give you $2 million. Then you're going to ask for 2.1, 2.2. So, in their opinion, they really didn't want to fight. And then you also hear the daddy talk about going to Philadelphia. And it should be in Vegas. It shouldn't be in Atlanta. It shouldn't be in Philly. It should be somewhere neutral and all that type of stuff. And like I said before, in my opinion, I felt like neither side wanted to fight. Eddie Hearn turned around and said that Boots they wanted Boots to do a tune-up. That's what the intent was. Brian Norman Jr. just got a belt. Why would he go make a unification bout with Boots? He just became champion. Why not follow Top Rank's plan for you? So, from that perspective, that make a lot of sense. Why not just follow Top Rank's plan that they got for you? Why go do your own thing, lose the belt, possibly get dropped by Top Rank? You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't make no sense. All this, I believe behind the scenes, they got a handshake agreement. They ain't gonna fight for a while. I'm telling you, it's all talk, it's all publicity, it's all marketing for the fighters. And they see how well Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford did. They said we could build this up for years and then cash out. Niggas is tired of that shit. I'm to the point, don't talk about it unless you're ready to be about it. I think that's where a lot of us at with it. Don't talk about it unless y'all about to fight. Unless you're going to sign the contract. That's it. So from Boots side, you know, Norman, long story short, was never going to take they were never negotiating in good faith. Hella fall. Hella fall out here. They was never negotiating in good faith. They, you know, so why pay the $20 when my thing is, if you send 3 offers out and everybody else said no, and you look at the 3 fights that the other fighters was going to take, either that's an indictment on Eddie Hearn or that's an indictment on the fighters. You figure it out. 1.5 to stay on, it's probably about 1.5 to Barrios, maybe a little bit more. And neither one of them took it. Stay on is fighting a mandatory, probably for peanuts on the dollar compared to what he would have made versus Boots. Mario Barrios fought Abel Ramos and really got beat from what I heard. Or you could have fought Boots in unification and made some money. But who knows what they tend to get paid for their next fight. Eddie Hearn be talking about throwing money out there. I'm paying them big money. And to them, maybe that's just a regular payday. It ain't big money. Remember, they were saying Leone said he had to move back in with his mom because of the Vergil Ortiz fight kept falling out and being inactive. Now he fighting a dude for the mandatory. I guarantee you it ain't nowhere near what he was got to fight Boots. So, like I said, this is boxing. Even when you simplify it to, you know, average name fighters, you still got the same big name complications. Now, I also heard, you know, this is assumption, a little bit of word, is that, you know, why Vergil and Boots not happening. So basically, Boots will be having it, because Vergil got a concrete date in February. So basically, Vergil is fighting in February, and that will be set 3 times in 7 months for Boots. So, you know, what they basically saying is that Boots don't like the fight day. Boots just it's too quick of a turnaround to go from November, you know, all the way to in the middle of February or early February to fight Vergil. Vergil saying he ain't moving off the date. He fighting regardless on that date in Riyadh season, Saudi Arabia. So regardless, Boots is fighting. Vergil fight on that day. So basically, the reason that Boots allegedly don't want to take the fight is because it's too quick of a turnaround. So you talking about, you know, let's say 2 weeks in December, you know, November, you got December, January. So it's a what? December, January. I don't know the date in February. So it's like a 90-day turnaround. Let's guesstimate about, you know, 3-month turnaround. You know, and that, you know, they said that's too quick. In my opinion, that should be good for him. He should want to be active, get right back in the ring. But then again, for Vergil Ortiz, it's pretty much, well, he fought August 3rd, so you probably say August, September, October. So he had a 3-month head start over Boots. November, December, so it's about 6-7 months when Vergil Ortiz come back. Because basically August 3rd is still like July 6th, August, September, October, November, December, January. So about 6.5, depending on what they fight in February, about 6.5 month layoff. And Boots will be coming off what? Let's say December, January. So about a 3-month layoff. So they just think that's not fair. I think, in my opinion, as long as he ain't suffering no injuries, well, I guess he do need rest. So yeah, I guess he do need rest. So need about what, 6 weeks? They don't leave him that much room to train. So in my opinion, I would like to get a couple weeks of rest. You know, hit training camp again and go get that bag. But I get it. You know, you don't want no excuses. Remember, Sergey Kovalev did a quick turnaround versus Canelo, but then also Canelo drained him. So, and that's probably why Oscar pushing it so much. You already know the Mexicans always going to have an advantage. You hear Tevin crying about there was no drug testing versus old buddy. What was old buddy's name? Well, Williams Payne. Call the boy Shiesty. They Shiesty. So you know that's why they calling out Boots so long. They seen his performance, and also in addition to that, he's gonna be doing a quick turnaround. He's gonna be doing a quick ass turnaround. So yeah, that's how they rocking. So they trying to get the upper hand on them. So you know that ain't happening. So you know the word gonna be Boots ducked and fuck Boots and Boots ducker and all that type of stuff. So that's gonna be the good word. That's gonna be the good word. But you know it's a quick turnaround. And then I'm like, Boots fought 20 times 1 year before. Well, you gonna hear stuff like that, but you know, me personally, he can't move off today. He coming off 6.5 months rest. You coming off what? Maybe 90 days rest at best. I feel him. But shit, get back in that ring. As long as he ain't suffering no injuries, that might make him that much more sharper than Vergil Ortiz. That might give him an advantage. Depending on how long his last camp was. And you know how much damage he took in his last fight. He ate some punches though, but it didn't seem like a lot of them bothered him like that, you know. So, but yeah, most likely I heard that you're probably not gonna get that fight. That's a good word. most likely you're not gonna get that fight. So, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But, yep, so I don't know why the negotiations fell out now. Trying to see why, you know, Boots and Vergil is most likely not next. So, I mean, it is what it is. You know, even when you simplify the fighters' names and the fighters not as big as names as the Spencer and Crawford fights still don't get routine fights. They got fights that should be routine, and still don't get done in boxing. So, it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button. Hit the link tree, check out the Patreon, find me on X, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Amazon Music, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Let me know what your girls and guys do in the comment section. Check out the Box Room playlist one time, Good Fella TV.